Welcome, everybody, to your WWE Money in the Bank 2024 and NXT Heatwave 2024 preview and predictions. As you can see, I've got the Money in the Bank background pulled up first because we've decided, because that comes first chronologically, that we will also be previewing that first in this preview prediction. So, we have got a couple of Money in the Bank ladder matches to cover. We've got a world title match to cover. We've got a six-man tag to cover. And we've also got an intercontinental title match to cover. John, what would you like to talk about first?
Let's talk about. Oh man, I like to save the Money in the Bank ladder matches themselves for like the main of the main event, at least for this preview prediction, because I know then we're gonna transition into Heatwave. So let's talk about maybe the Intercontinental title first.
Intercontinental title first? That makes sense. I was just informed that you are coming in a lot louder than me, so I'm going to try and make some adjustments on that and just turn you down. There we go. Okay, so Intercontinental title. We've got Sami Zayn defending the Intercontinental title against Braun Breaker one-on-one. I would love to believe that Breaker just wins here, but it is in Toronto, so maybe Sami retains. What do you think here?
It's this is a harder match to call because they're really building up Braun in an interesting way. I've said that I've likened it to like a late, like mid to late '90s, like Stone Cold build. Actually, no, I think it would be more early to mid '90s because that's when he was kind of the heel before the whole Bret Hart thing that really put
It's
him over the top.
just mid '90s, man, because Stone
Yeah,
Cold wasn't really Stone Cold until like '96 anyway.
yeah. So it just feels like a very similar energy to that. And they seem to be telling the story like, hey, when this guy gets a fair one-on-one match, nobody can beat him. But he keeps getting, messed around with. Part of me just wants to say, hell with it, give it to him. We've all thought for a while that Sammy, I get that this Intercontinental title reign, his fourth one was different because he was, a true blue baby face. He really earned it. Like Myth GIFs on Twitter really, and that's MITHGIFS. Did a really great breakdown of that, which made me soften on the Intercontinental reign. But I still ultimately stand by the position that he should be in world title contention. Like this dude, it's funny because if Gunther does win the world title, given that Sammy literally beat Gunther at WrestleMania, that should be one of the like Gunther's first major programs in my mind is a Sami Zayn without the Intercontinental title. So I think ultimately, just thinking about the future for Sammy, I'm thinking that him and Gunther may not be done with each other because I'm really, really hoping Gunther just wins at SummerSlam. I'm going to say Braun just wins here, and Sammy can focus on building himself up as a main event asset. So I'm very curious what you think, though, because this is definitely an interesting matchup for sure.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but I don't know. Let me actually pull up Braun Breaker's cage match real quick, just because is he undefeated on the main roster so far?
I believe he is because anytime the bell rings, it's not like a disqualification against him. It's more just a no contest.
Yeah,
So like it doesn't count against him. You know what I mean?
yeah. So he's never been pinned or submitted or anything. Um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like Sheamus is probably lurking. I'm gonna pick Sammy to retain, but not necessarily because he actually wins the match. Braun might win by DQ, Sammy might win by DQ. I think they're going to keep the title on Sammy, though. I really do, especially because it's Toronto and it's like the hometown thing.
You know what? That makes sense, man. I think I'm gonna stick with Braun, but again, this is a matchup where I'm not like dying on any hills or anything. Like I totally get anybody that would want to back Sami Zayn retaining. Absolutely. So we'll have to see how that goes. What matchup do you want to? I want you to pick the next matchup we talk about here. What's next?
Let's talk about the six-man tag: Cody, Randy, and Kevin versus the Bloodline, which we found out tonight Tonga Loa is the odd man out of the bloodline. We are going to be getting Kevin, Randy, and Cody versus Solo, Tama, and Jacob.
Okay. See, I was hoping so. Well, I mean, that makes it easy, dude. And I would have said this even if Jacob wasn't in the match, but Bloodline's 100% winning that. And you know what? Just because I'm so in love with myself and what I said a while back, I want Jacob. Jacob will probably pin Kevin Owens if we're being real, but I would love if he pinned Randy and we got a Jacob Randy singles match at SummerSlam.
I
Put the fucking
honestly,
rocket
dude,
on that son bitch.
I'm gonna just come
Yeah.
out and say it. I think Solo's pinning Cody here.
Oh, and you think that'll set up maybe Solo Cody at SummerSlam? You think?
Exactly. Yeah, I think we're getting Solo Cody at SummerSlam, and I think that it's gonna stem from Solo actually being able to pin Cody here in this match. And the thing is, I don't think it's gonna be because Solo necessarily beats Cody. It might be one of those situations where like Jacob beats Cody, but then because Solo's the tribal chief, he tags Solo in, and Solo just comes in when he could have just come in and pinned Cody right away. But he gets that one last thumb to the throat to make sure that it's his move that got the win, technically.
Right, right, right.
So yeah, I do think Solo's going to pin Cody here, and yeah, we agree that the Bloodline's winning. We just have different ideas of how it's going to go down.
Bro, I hope you're right, honestly, because I'll tell you what, like, if I'm being realistic, right, just in my own opinion, if I'm being realistic, like, Kevin is the pin taker on that team, which breaks my heart because you know what a massive KO fan I am. But I hope you're right, man, because that would be really putting over Solo as it relates to him leading this new bloodline. And it would really make the new bloodline seem, in a way, just as dangerous, if not even more dangerous than Roman's bloodline in a way. So yeah, I think giving Solo and his faction that kind of rub is definitely the right way to go. We'll have to see, but we both agree bloodline prevails. So what do you want to talk about next?
Let's talk about the world title match, Priest Rollins. It's interesting because we've got something on the line other than just the world title for both of these guys. Priest has the world title on the line, but also if he does lose, not only is he losing the world title, but he also has to leave Judgment Day. And if Rollins loses, not only is he losing this particular world title match, but he has also guaranteed that he will never again challenge Damian Priest while he holds that world title.
Yeah, I'm just gonna come out and say it. I just think Seth wins here. I
Yeah,
think Finn and JD, maybe even Liv, who freaking knows. I just think what's going on with Judgment Day now, they might even screw Priest over. And I look at it this way too. You look at how Priest has carried himself as world champion, and if he is going to drop the title here, I do want to say hats off to him because I think he really knocked it out of the park to the point where I hope this isn't his last time with the world title because I think in a way he got gypped because so much was going on around his world title reign that I feel like this wasn't even the best he could do. And that's to say that it was still pretty damn good from where I sit. But also that I think WWE is really invested, and not without good reason, in making Priest a babyface. And think about this, bro. You have Priest drop the title, right? And you have it because Finn may have hijacked Judgment Day or whatever. Because I still love our theory that Liv is using Dom, but she's really with Finn. Like, I just love everything about that fucking idea. Then you get Rhea coming back, and we know Rhea and Priest have a amazing bond in the Judgment Day. They call themselves the Terror Twins. They lift each
yeah,
other up. They support each other. I think even when it seemed like Priest and Rhea would have tension because Rhea was leader of Judgment Day, I think he always had like a genuine respect for her and her him. Like she
yeah.
would even look out for him when he was banged up. Like, no, Priest, don't waste your briefcase. Like, I promise you, big man. Like, it's gonna happen for you. Like they have that dynamic. And so I see it as not even just Priest versus Judgment Day, but in the grand scheme of things, Priest and Rhea versus Judgment Day as the big feud to carry us into late summer and the fall. Because I have to imagine Rhea's return, I hope is imminent. I feel like it is because I don't know how much longer you can do Liv meddling and things. And then if Priest is out, like how much longer, I don't know Rhea's timetable though. I don't know how she's doing. I can only hope though that she'll be back soon. So that's how I see it, man. I really just see it as Rhea and Priest feuding with the Judgment Day. And I don't know how that culminates, but I think that's the big program. And then Seth moves on to Gunther. Or if Seth gets cashed in on, maybe it would be Drew Gunther again, but I'm unfortunately skeptical. We'll have to see. So I'm just going to say Seth Gunther for SummerSlam. So yeah, I'm going to lock in. Seth just regains the title.
Yeah. Yeah. I do tend to agree. I almost feel like they could do something interesting here with like kind of almost like the Mayu Starlight Kid situation where like Priest wins so he doesn't have to leave Judgment Day, but then like Finn and JD and Dom come out and Carlito come out to celebrate with him, but then they beat the shit out of him and kick him out anyway.
That's interesting. So like they have their cake and eat it too, as far as like Damian Priest being world champion, but you still get him out of the faction. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, because of the line where he was like, they need me more than I need them, that kind of thing. And yeah, and now like, JD and Finn are tag team champions, so it's not like, it's like they kind of are feeling themselves and feeling like they can find success on their own without him. Yeah, I don't know. And especially because like, I don't know. I just have this weird feeling like maybe they want to do Priest Gunther, Rollins Gunther. Has there been any kind of build towards that at all?
I think
Like, do they have any
that they've
history with each other?
a little bit. I know. I want to just be completely honest with you, right? A little bit, because before WrestleMania, when Seth was doing the program with Drew, Gunther did come out. I think this was actually before the Rumble, and he said, I'm going to win the Rumble and I'm going to challenge you. And so they've had little interactions before, but it's purely mic stuff. My question to you is, if they do the whole, again, have your cake and eat it too strategy, you keep the belt on Priest, but you get him out of the faction. We know Gunther is just SummerSlam. That's his right as the King of the Ring winner. So do we not just do Finn versus Priest for the world title then? Because that would seem like an obvious go-to. Like Finn, I would have to imagine will want the title, because I think he's been jealous of Priest a little bit ever since he won the damn thing. So how do you like? Do you just, are you just very simple with that, and you just still have Gunther win, and you just still do the Finn Priest feud anyway? Like, how would you handle that if they go that route?
Yeah, I don't really know how I would follow up on it. Honestly, I mean the Priest Finn feud would make sense. Maybe it would be good as just as far as like we could get babyface terror twins basically. We could get babyface Rhea and babyface Damien together.
Yeah, exactly.
Not like as a romantic couple, but as like really good friends, and they could return with a grudge against the Judgment Day, because we could even have like Liv get incorporated into the Judgment Day then and become a part of the Judgment Day with Finn, because we know that they're fucking on the side. Um, and they could go after them. I don't know. I think there's something to be fleshed out there that they could do. I just don't know like the details of how I would do it personally. I just think that there's something that could be interesting coming from that.
Well, I think what makes it the right way to go, in my opinion anyway, is that when you think about it, like Rhea and Priest are the OGs, because they were a part of Edge's Judgment Day
Yes.
before Finn came in, and then it was Judgment Day 2.0, and now we're getting ready for Judgment Day 3.0 with like Liv, Carlito, Dom, JD, and Finn. So I mean, they've been through Rhea and Priest, two iterations of Judgment Day, and so yeah, it makes sense that they would be the ride or die kind of pairing, platonically, as you stressed. And yeah, you have Finn and Liv as the primary feuders on the Judgment Day side against Rhea and Priest. Yeah, that just makes all the sense in the world to me. So yeah, I think I am going to stick with Seth just winning, because like I just think that that's the easiest way to go. But yeah, that's how I feel about it.
All right. So let's move on. Let's talk about Money in the Bank. Which one do you want to talk about first, women's or men's?
Let's talk about, I'm going to say women's first.
All right. Io, Chelsea, Lyra, Tiffany, Naomi, and Zoe. Uh, Winner gets the briefcase and can challenge whenever they want, but historically, ever since Carmella, pretty much, women have typically cashed in very quickly. Typically, either night of, or at the very least within the first like 10 days or 11 days or so of having the briefcase. So basically, who do you expect to become a women's champion within the next week or two?
Um, I'll break it down to you like this. Obviously, my fan campaign this year has been Cha-Ching Chelsea. Love her. Love the work she has been doing lately. But I think if we're being realistic, the conversation to me really comes down to Lyra or Tiffany. And I feel like by and large, Money in the Bank seems to be more of a heel thing. So I'm unfortunately leaning Tiffany. And
Yeah.
I think I'm going to lock Tiffany in, but I hate it.
Yeah.
I really, really hate it.
I think Zoe is like the worst option just in the sense that there's nothing interesting about her. Like you put the briefcase on Tiffany, and at least you have like a super heel to be, and she's popular too. Like a popular. That's weird. That's kind of almost like a paradox, but or not a paradox, an oxymoron. You have a really popular heel with the briefcase at that point. That whenever they cash in, it's kind of like the Dolph Ziggler thing, right? Like they cash in, and it's like this huge pop for a heel cashing in. You know?
Exactly, exactly. And we already know that Tiffany's got so much fanfare that I could see her cash in being, yeah, very
Yeah,
similar to that, unfortunately.
yeah. Um, I would love to see Naomi win because there definitely is story to be fleshed out there. We know that she has beef with Tiffany going back to like even before WrestleMania. Um, we know that she and Nia are not friends, and I think it was Alex Foster actually in the chat tonight who kind of made me realize that hey, maybe Nia beats Bailey at SummerSlam, and then Naomi could cash in on Nia and beat her, and then we have Bailey and Naomi versus Nia and Tiffany kind of set up as a way to kind of like set up for Naomi to feud with both Nia and potentially Tiffany as women's champion, and we don't have to have a situation where like Naomi turns heel or betrays Bailey in any way. I love that.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, Lyra feels like a natural pick. They had her make it to the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament. They had her beat all three members of Damage Control in her first singles matches with them on Raw. She's been getting a lot out the gate. It wouldn't surprise me if they put the briefcase on her. It wouldn't surprise me if they immediately had her just go ahead and cash in on Liv and win the title from her, and then just kind of decided to have the Liv Rhea program when Rhea came back be non-title. That wouldn't surprise me too much either. Um, I ultimately do land on the agreement with you though that I do think that they're going to put it on Tiffany because I do think that there's more to be juiced out of the story with her sort of approaching Nia and agreeing that they should be friends and the two of them buddying up. But now Nia has a world title shot at SummerSlam. So, like, whether Nia wins and Tiffany cashes in on her, that feels like a betrayal. Or if Bailey retains and then Tiffany basically runs past Nia as Nia is doing the walk of shame after losing the title match, and Tiffany cashes in on Bailey. That's Nia's gonna feel a certain way about that too, right? So like they're quote unquote friends, but it feels like a very, very temporary alliance to me. And I think there's story to be fleshed out there for sure. Um, so yeah, I definitely think that Tiffany is sort of the chosen one this year, but honestly, the only people who would really upset me are Tiffany because I just don't like her, and Zoe because she's just so boring. Because the other options are
Yes.
Chelsea and Io, and like those are the favorites. Those are my top two. Like Io, I love. Io winning a second year in a row is less interesting than the first time she won it, but I'm not going to complain if my favorite wrestler wins Money in the Bank. That's going to be awesome. And Chelsea is just in her bag right now. Her just the entertainment quality is S tier. Anytime she's on screen, I think I don't know who it was, but somebody said something about how like nobody maximizes their minutes better than Chelsea Green right now, and I fully agree with that.
1000%. One
So
thousand, like, yeah. If you look at Money in the Bank as like that mid card mechanism, Chelsea is the perfect Money in the Bank holder. And maybe
And I would
in
want her to
like
hold it for a while too. I would want her to be the first woman since I think Carmella to hold that briefcase for a while and have her be a proper Miss Money in the Bank. And you could even have like moments where like she teases like she's gonna cash in, and you could even have her be like a comedy act where like she acts like she's gonna cash in and she gets stumped or she gets sabotaged or something. Like someone like knocks her out. Like who did that recently? It wasn't Priest,
that was
was it?
Austin Theory.
It
That
was
was
Theory.
Austin
Yeah,
Theory.
you could do with Chelsea what you did with Theory, and she'll execute it a million times better because she's great at it.
I mean, bro, you know that when we even kind of flirted with the idea, I think on a previous week in review, I don't know which one, where I said it would be hilarious to me if she would go Like, because the Money in the Bank, I think, allows you to appear on every show. And if she
Yes.
would just complain to every GM that no show
Yes.
has the proper conditions for cashing in,
Yep.
and like just doing that whole bit where like she continues the Karen shtick, but now it's about why won't you just let me win this goddamn championship? So I think there is so much you could do with that briefcase with Chelsea because I think you hit the nail on the head. Like we always have like very dastardly briefcase holders or ones that are way too cocky because they have it. I don't think we've ever done pure comedy. Like, we definitely dipped the toe with Theory, but I'm talking like the whole run is just a giant gag. But here's the thing, because she is a genuinely good worker, I wouldn't have the gag end in her ultimately failing her cash in. I would have it be something that she almost lucks into because it seems like it's going to go awry yet again, but yet somehow this time she just falls into it, and she finally gets the title. I've already done in the past for the Discord, like a personal recording, like kind of extra content about how I could even see Chelsea being one day an incredible babyface. And let's be honest here too, bro. I think we have to give Chelsea more thought, if for no other reason, because this is in Toronto and Chelsea's Canadian, right? So
That
like,
is true. That is true. But
yeah,
I think there are some situations where like being Canadian and in Canada will give you an advantage, but I think Chelsea, because she is almost like a comedy character, that almost makes me feel like it's less likely because it makes me feel like she's going to be like a comedy spot where it looks like she's going to win and then she gets screwed in some goofy comedic way. You know what I mean?
yeah, and Foster is correct. Drew did lose in Scotland. I'm just saying, like, you guys are right. I just wanted to bring that up, just because you always
Yeah,
want to
I think
consider everything.
faces I think get a power boost in their home state or home country or home whatever, but I think heels almost like they're more likely to lose.
I mean, your face gives me a power boost, but that's neither here nor there. I think the more important thing is if they wanted to get heat back on Tiffany too, which I don't know how WWE envisions her because the way I see it, they've got to be looking at her pops and they've got to be thinking in the next year or so, maybe a bit longer, like, oh, that's one of our next top baby faces. But if they wanted to get heat back on her, they should thwart Chelsea almost getting that briefcase because I really feel like she's going to get, I hope she gets a huge pop. I hope I'm not overestimating her overness in Toronto. But yeah, she reaches for it and then bam, Tiffany just ruins her dreams and also mine because I'll definitely cry inside. But yeah, I think being
And
realistic and yes, exactly. I think being realistic and not being on my bullshit, like I've made it clear going into live reactions, I am Chelsea 1000%. And this is coming from a guy that I love Lyra and I love EO, but I think Chelsea, she's been putting the work in. And honestly, I think, like you said about that person that said nobody maximizes their minutes like Chelsea Green, the briefcase has always been a detriment, I feel like, most times for people. I think she would make that briefcase mean something again, even if it's not what people would think that she was going to make it mean again. I think, yeah, it would just be something really special. So in live reactions, I'm Chelsea all the way, but in preview and predictions where I'm putting, Serious John face on, it's Tiffy time, and I fucking hate it. I want
oh, yeah, it
yeah.
hurts.
Now let's talk about men's though, because my mind is in very interesting places with this. Um,
Who
but
can we agree that Mello and Andrade pretty much have no shot at all, and then it really comes down to Jay, Chad, LA, and Drew?
I will do you one better because not only do I agree, I'm even willing to take LA out because I don't think the stuff with Logan's over. I could see Logan doing a run in the match just to screw LA Knight out of the briefcase.
I was thinking
So,
about excluding LA too, but then I thought of Super Blue, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to hear it. So we'll just at least, entertain him, entertain the possibility that maybe he can win.
sure, I'll entertain it. He gets a hope spot, and then out of nowhere comes Logan Paul, and he tips the ladder over, and that's the end of LA Knight's night.
All right,
Yeah.
so now we're
Uh,
down to three: Jay Uso, Chad Gable, Drew. So it means a Raw guy is winning it. Jay, Chad, or Drew, a Raw guy is winning Money in the Bank this year. So the question is, which one does Chad win Money in the Bank and cash in on Gunta at SummerSlam to get the win over Gunta that he could never get for the IC title? Does Jey Uso win Money in the Bank and do the same thing? Only this time he avenges himself getting screwed by his brother several times against Gunta, or is it Drusif And Rusev avenges his own feud with the Money in the Bank briefcase that he's been screwed twice, I believe. Uh, what do you think, bud?
First of all, I want to address what you just did. You just perfectly explicated, as is no surprise given that it's your face that did it, why all three options from one vantage point or another are supremely attractive. Like, I don't think in these three options, when you think about the stories that could be told, because think about this, dude, just to go back to Chad for just a second, that would mean at Bash at Berlin, Gunther is the babyface, and they're going against an amazing heel in Chad. And I love that dynamic because Gunther's the tank, but Chad would be like 2010 Daniel Bryan, where he is just a very technically gifted little shit. And I love that. Like, I cannot overstate to you
Wait, wasn't
how
that
much I love that.
2011 Daniel Bryan?
You know what? You might be right, but all the
Because
same, you get what
2010
I'm
was
gesturing at.
NXT and like Nexus and stuff.
You're probably right that it was 2011, but all the same, you get the substance of what I'm saying.
100%, yeah. I just want to make sure we get our facts right here on FootWow.
Of course. But like, yeah, that would 100% be the dynamic. And bro, I am gonna level with you here, and I swear to all of you, again, I'm trying to be really good. Because Ashton can tell you in our private time, I have been very unhinged as of late, but I'm trying to be good. But even being good, dude, you do not know how tempting it is to want to just throw my hat in on Chad Gable. Like, honestly,
I
like
really do think that it comes down to Chad or Jay, because I actually do agree with Javaris. I think that Drew is gonna get an LA Knight moment where it's like he's gonna win and then Fildred fucks him up.
That's my only concern about men's Money in the Bank and why I want to save it for last, dude. I low-key think that this is going to be overbooked to shit because I think we're going to get these 2 run-ins at least.
Yeah.
And dude, honestly, maybe even 3 because Wyatt 6, they could very easily get.
Oh my
god,
you're right.
Oh my god.
So it's just Jay. It's just Jay Uso. Jay Uso's winning Money in the Bank. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm locking it in, baby. I'm not overthinking this. I'm locking it in. Jay Uso's winning.
I've been so good all recording. Do I pull a me in the 9th inning? So, okay, let me say this. Foster, I love you so much. And I do love Jay. And I feel like I have taken up for Jay consistently on this podcast. You know, Google it. So I believe in him. I really do. This isn't me like piling on him. I think I'm going to go with Chad. Like, I think I'm going to regret if I don't stay true to myself.
Dude,
right
I love
now.
that for you, though. That for you, that's perfect. Because I understand where you're coming from, just in the sense that, like, if it happens and you thought it might and you didn't officially predict it, you're going to feel so horrible for yourself about that.
Yeah, this really isn't me, like, doing an out there campaign. Because here's the thing, dude, just to defend myself, and I don't think I need to. You guys have been amazing, as always. But, like, I see the vision.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was me or if it was you or who it was that, like, first mentioned the Gunther Chad dynamic, and then I'm thinking about Bash at Berlin.
It was not me.
It was oh my god, I actually came up with this shit. Holy fuck. I amazed myself. I'm thinking about Bash at Berlin and I'm like, dude, the fucking pop. Because here's the thing too, like, Chad, I don't think they do this because we're not in the 90s anymore. But Chad could be like, you know, as an American, I know a thing or two about beating the Germans.
They would never let him go there. No,
that's
some like 04 Kurt Angle shit, bro.
But he is Kurt Angle's son. He is Kurt Angle's genuine fucking son. Like, and look, here's the thing too. Yes, there is bias for me because anybody in our Discord, anybody that listens to the show, and I'm grateful for everybody that does, you guys know how much I've been loving Chad's run. And this is coming from a guy that I still say, I wish he was babyface, but I cannot lie. I mean, I literally, in our Discord, just to give a peek to everybody of how unhinged I am, I posted Drew's promo where he's showing off the bracelet of Punk and all of his sentimental, you know, feelings. And I said, my God.
John, I'm going to take care of something real quick. I'll be back in like 5 minutes tops. You continue explaining.
Oh, yeah, I'm just going to keep ranting then for 5 minutes. I said when I posted that Drew promo, y'all, that men are so back, which is a disgusting thing to say, given that both these men exemplify toxic masculinity. So that was 100% me in heel mode. But if I'm being sincere, like, they're 2 amazing heel characters. But I agree with Javaris. just to acknowledge, Javaris's prediction, because I don't think, because here's the thing, and I'm talking kind of to Javaris directly now since Ashton's not here. If you're CM Punk, you're telling Drew, fuck all of your dreams. I am not letting you get fucking close, right? And so you don't even let him get out of the starting gate. You stop him before he even gets the briefcase. Jay is the conundrum, though. Jay is where I give pause because the Wyatt Six have no reason to go after Jay unless this is a subversion. Because I mentioned a while back, and I don't know if other people felt this way, but I thought the Wyatt Six would take umbrage, take offense with Jay getting the quote unquote Fireflies. But that hasn't seemingly been the case because if they wanted to get him, they could have stopped him from qualifying in the first place. So that's where I'm conflicted, right? Was Chad just a victim of circumstance? Or is there a deeper substance for why they've targeted him? And if the latter, then it explains itself. Jay's just winning. But if he is a victim of circumstance, then the real substantive target is Jay. I don't know why they'd wait for him to almost win Money in the Bank when you could have stopped him from qualifying. I do think that's a genuine writing issue, but it's not something that I can discount. And so when I look at all this, guys, and I look at Gunther, and I look at how Chad has never been able to beat Gunther, and how he got screwed out of, well, not screwed out of Mania, he got, it just didn't go his way in the gauntlet. He made a mistake for 3 seconds, and that's all it takes, right? But like, he had to sit on the sidelines at Mania. He didn't get the hero's welcome, the hero's celebration of beating Gunther. So then he finally beats Gunther, and everybody hates it because he's a little shit. And again, 2011, because Ashton corrected me there, and I do think he's right. 2011 Daniel Bryan versus a babyface Gunther, who's the Big Show in this scenario, except, a billion times fucking better. I think thinking about all that, guys, I'm going Chad. I'm going Chad. I hate, like, in a way I hate it because I know how bad Foster wants Jay to win. And Foster, stick to your fucking guns. Stick to your fucking guns, because if Jay wins, let me be unequivocal here. You fucking deserve this. And you know who else fucking deserves this? Jay goddamn Uso, for getting out of the worst family in existence. But see, maybe the Wyatt Six, because they're demented, they're like, oh, you gave up on your family. You never give up on family. And that could be the only out I see with them targeting Jay. Whereas Chad actually tried to get back with his family, and so maybe that made the Wyatt Six step off of him because he did apologize. But see, they don't have the moral nuance to see that that wasn't a genuine apology. I know this is probably me doing mental gymnastics, but that's the only way I can see them like subverting and them going after the Wyatt Six, going after Jey Uso after all. But if Jay wins, let's be clear, he 1000% deserves this. He's moving merch. He's super fucking over. He has the story with Gunther where Gunther's beaten him twice. Once because of Jimmy, and then once because, he just got caught in that King of the Ring matchup. So Gunther is kind of the Kilimanjaro that Jay can't scale, and then he finally does it. But I would want him to cash in straight up on Gunther and give that, like, spirited babyface performance. I don't want Jay to get a cheap world title win. That's my only gripe about Jay getting the briefcase. And I agree with you, Bestie, but I'm saying the Wyatt Six wouldn't recognize that. You and I recognize that, because we're sane. Ashton, I know you just got back. Do you want me to go over my explanation of how they might actually target Jay, the Wyatt Six, or did you hear that? I want to know what you were privy to.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so I've gone on a whole preamble. I think I'm locking in Chad. That's the important thing. But I said that I have no qualms with Jay. I'd pop for Foster and for Jay if you want it. But to address the elephant in the room, Wyatt Six, in my mind, would have to screw Jay. How would they do that? Well, I explained that it is a genuine writing issue, because if Wyatt Six had an issue with Jay, they should have just stopped him from qualifying to begin with, right?
Yep.
But then I thought about something though. When we look at the dynamic here, if the Wyatt Six is all about family, after Chad got attacked, even though we as sensible, sane people, and I do want to emphasize sensible and sane because the Wyatt Six clearly are not, he apologized to his family. Now, we know the apology was bullshit. Wyatt Six may not see it that way. And then with Chad trying to put the heat on Jay, I think on the last Raw, the Wyatt Six may be like, oh, that's true. Jay walked out on his family. You never walk out on family. Even though, again, as sensible people, we see that he walked out on his family because they were abusive as fuck. But the Wyatt Six may be like, that doesn't matter. You never give up on family. That is the only justification that I will admit. I am doing like Simone Biles level gymnastics to like justify my fucking point.
Yeah.
But that is the only way I could see is that after Chad got attacked, the Wyatt Six could see it as, oh, he tried to reform because he tried to get back with his family. Now we need to focus on Jay because Jay left his. So
You know what
that's
though,
the
dude? Here's my thing. You're right.
yeah,
That is like the only possible way that Jay isn't winning, is if for some odd reason the Wyatt Six decide to turn their attention from Chad to him. I do agree that that is possible. I'm not going to take anything away from you that that is possible, and it would be a really fucking cool swerve if they did do that. I just don't predict that
yeah.
it's going to happen. I'm sticking with Jay.
And I totally get that. I again, this is not me dying on any hills. I totally get it. I'm just trying because we are in an era of long form storytelling.
Yes.
You know, your writing has got to be on point, and that's why I called out. Like, it makes no sense. Why not just screw them out of the qualifier? But then I'm thinking, okay, they might have gotten what they've wanted from Chad because they haven't attacked him since. They've spooked him, sure, but they haven't attacked him.
No,
So
they've
I'm
been
really
showing
wondering how
up.
it's going to go.
They've been showing up during Chad's segments, but they've only been doing that to hand VHS tapes to Michael Cole.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, man, I'm doing it. I'm a master in the bank, and oh my god, to think that I was like really down that they wouldn't give Chad the IC title, and they might just give him the world title to simultaneously turn Gunther babyface, even if only for a single pay-per-view. That is nuts to me.
Here's another
Yeah,
option though that neither one of us is thinking of.
and that is
What if they have Punk sell his injury for just a little longer and not show up at Money in the Bank? And Drew knows this, and Drew is like, I got to get this shit done fucking now. So whoever wins the world title match, Drew wins the Money in the Bank and cashes in night of to become champ, and we get Drew Gunther at SummerSlam. Gunther wins the title, and then Drew challenges him at Bash in Berlin, and we get babyface Gunther against heel Drew at Bash in Berlin.
I love that idea too. Again, for as much as I'm emotionally invested in Chad, I want to stress
Maybe
that
Punk pulls an AJ Styles and literally flies to Berlin just to screw Drew.
yeah, yeah. And that's why I'm so glad we talked about this ladder match last, because I think women's is going to cook, but I just see it very straightforwardly as either Lyra or Tiffany winning. Here, I see three different really
that's
viable
interesting
winners.
that you see Lyra as the second most likely behind Tiffany. Because I do think Chelsea could do it.
Oh, I do too, man. God, dude, imagine if Money in the Bank goes off the air and you have Chelsea and Chad as the briefcase, or Chelsea and Jay or Drew. Like, that would be the happiest Money in the Bank has made me in years on both counts. Holy fucking shit. And again, Lyra 2 or EO 2, I'd be happy as well. Tiffany, ugh. But yeah, man.
Is worst realistic scenario Tiffany J? Even though we both like Jay?
I think worst realistic scenario, honestly, worst realistic scenario might just be in my opinion, Tiffany Drew, because I love Drew, but he's not going to have a dominant world title reign this time either, because I feel like he'll just drop it to Gunther either because of Punk or maybe just because Gunther's that overwhelming, and like Punk is still waiting in the wings, so like he wouldn't be able to devote his attention to the world title anyway. So I look at it as Tiffany Drew being the worst realistic option for me personally, and I love Drew to fucking death.
I think
yeah.
I think I would call it Tiffany J just because I am just salivating for that Gunther Drew match or two that we might get out of Drew winning the world title.
Yeah, I mean they cooked last year at SummerSlam. I think they do even better again this year. I see it. I fucking see it, man. We didn't even talk about hype levels to start because I know it's been a weird day because I had to troubleshoot like computer issues, which is why I'm doing it on the tablet anyway. I want to say before the discussion, I feel like I was at a 9. Now I feel like again this year because the discussions were so fucking good. I'm at a 10 out of 10. Let's fucking go. I'm
buddy. Are we skipping any of these matches?
Because
I feel like I want to watch all of them.
No, that was my thing too, bro. I think we're just watching all these matches because like
God, I love that for us so much.
Honestly, the most
starts
skippable
earlier
one is
too. It starts at 7 o'clock instead of 6, or instead of 8.
Yeah, we did discuss that, and yeah, man, like I just feel like the most skippable match is the Cody tag match, but that is Jacob Fatu in it, and that alone redeems it to me.
We can't not watch Jacob Fatu's in-ring debut.
Exactly. No, exactly. So yeah, I mean, this pay-per-view, I think even before the discussion, I was probably at like a 9.5. No, I'm at the 10 now.
10.
Like,
I think I'm
because
right
this
there
is a
with
money
you, dude. I'm gonna say, I mean, at least 9.5, but I'm just gonna go all in and say I'm at a 10 too.
because this is the first Money in the Bank pay per view I feel like at least in a while. Maybe I'm misremembering, but that I feel like has a really strong undercard too. Because I mean, you've also got Braun Sammy, which should cook. I mean, Braun's been a fucking tank, and Sammy is a great babyface. It's going to sell like $1 million for Braun. Yeah, I like everything that's happening here. This pay per view is going to kick ass. And I was about to say let's wrap it up, but we still got Heatwave. So do you want to get started on that?
Oh my god, I have a background to change. Are you ready for this?
Let's do it.
Right as you said it. Boom, baby. NXT Heat Wave preview and predictions. Hell yeah. Let's
Fucking
fucking
amazing.
go. All right. We've got it's another 5 match card. There is going to be a pre-show match that I'd actually like to watch with you, believe it or not. Carmen Petrovich and Ariana Grace versus Jasmine Nix and JC Jane.
Oh, interesting that Ariana would be teaming with Carmen. Yeah, I'd be down for that. I mean, it's Ariana, so you know.
Exactly. We can't watch we can't miss an Ariana match.
So will we also be getting together at 7 then too? Because isn't the main show at
The
8? Or
kickoff is at 6:30.
okay, all right, yeah,
So we would get
yeah. I think
together
we
at
have to go.
6:30 and just kind of chill until that match starts getting like entrances, and then we would go live for that, and then we would chill until the main show starts, and then we would go live for that.
All right, yeah. I mean, that sounds great. I'm just gonna say that Jasmine and JC win. So yeah,
Yeah, you're probably right about that. I would agree. Yeah, I'm gonna sign on to that.
yeah.
Okay. So then we get to our main card. Let's just get the garbage tag team. I love Chase U, but fuck these tag team champions, Frazier and Axiom. I think I could like Axiom. I think I could like him as a solo act, but Nathan Frazier is, for me personally, he's closing in on Lexus King, Sean Spears levels of lame.
Yeah, he sucks. Uh, I'm rooting for Chase U, man. I'm really enjoying the angle they're doing right now. I think Andre Chase has been slept on for a while. He's a
Yeah.
former tag team champion, with Duke, but that lasted a hiccup. I think Andre deserves a lot better. Yeah, I think he's just again one of the more understated workers on the brand. Same with Duke, honestly. I mean, that's a big man that like I don't think he's really gotten to show the full breadth of his like in ring ability because it's more of like a comedy gimmick in a way. And Ridge, I mean, this is the best thing he's done, in my opinion, because I enjoyed Babyface Brawling Brutes, since then. And so, yeah, you've got all the pieces together. I think you just got to get rid of Riley Osborne because he's a fucking geek. And yeah, I think we're really off to the races. So I'm going to say Chase U to win the tag titles.
I will say, I am going to pick Chase U, and it is more of a wishful thinking pick than an actual like thinking with my brain pick, because I have this weird gut feeling that Riley is going to screw Chase U out of the match, and that is going to lead to them kicking him out and kind of more embracing Ridge's willingness to bend the rules a little bit to get ahead.
Right.
And maybe it leads to them getting the tag titles down the line. But like instead of Andre and Duke, maybe it's either Duke or Ridge or Andre and Ridge. I don't know.
Yes. Yes. I could see it. I could see it. Absolutely. That'd be
All right.
interesting.
So next up, let's talk about the NXT Women's North American Championship match. It's Kalani Jordan versus Sol Ruka. And here's the thing, Kalani, when you don't like having drama around your championship, there's not really a whole lot to discuss, because there's no real story here. It's just Kalani versus Sol Ruka, and it's babyface versus babyface, and I don't really care all that much. Do you, John? Do you care about this match?
I think it should be fun, but I
I
have
expect it
no
to be a
skin in
good
the game here.
match for sure, but I don't really care about, like, this feels like AEW stuff to me.
Yeah, like I still don't really understand why Kalani's the champion. Respectfully,
It's
personally, I'm rooting for Salt Ruga to win. Honestly,
a term that I started using before we stopped watching AEW was that it's a Pokemon theme song match. It's I want to be the very best, and that's all anyone cares about in the match.
yes, exactly, exactly. Um,
Um,
I hope Salt Ruga wins, but honestly, I'm gonna go
I
with
agree.
Kalani.
Yeah, you and I are on the exact same page here. I think that Sol Ruka would be a better champion than Kalani, but I'm open to seeing where they go with Kalani because I still really want them to take her down that heel route of like delusional heel who thinks she's a face because that's just the best. And I think she is like the perfect type of character right now to pull it off. But I am going to
Yeah.
agree and sign on with you that Kalani's probably retaining here. So we'll agree with that.
Yes.
You know what? Next up, it's going to main event. It's going to go on last, but I think we should talk about the NXT Championship next.
Oh yes, we should. Poor Trick.
Yeah, Trick defending that NXT title against Javon Evans, Ethan Page, and Shawn Spears. This is basically Shawn Michaels' Canada special. It's the actual good match, but let's toss two Canadian shitters in there because the show's in Canada.
You know, since you and I have been watching Pro Wrestling Bits together because you introduced me to him, and you said about NXT that black equals green, I've really meditated on that, and it really makes me look at Heatwave as a massive missed opportunity for NXT to really just have back-to-back semi-main and main, just like have black wrestlers monopolize the semi-main and the main event of Heatwave. Because we also have West versus Oba on this show, which
And I
to
was
me, because
planning
they
on us
ruined the
saving that to be our personal main event of this show because that is the match.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think they really missed an opportunity here. I really do. I think you should have just said with your whole chest, "You're damn right, black equals green," and this is how much we believe in that.
Yeah.
But they didn't, and I'm going to be honest. I'm not even going to rant because NXT's done good stuff outside of this, but I am disappointed. I am definitely disappointed that they wanted to dilute this because I really think Javon Evans is something special. And what I'm worried about with Trick, and I've told you this in conversation, I might have even said it on the podcast. I'm worried how they're booking this title reign. Like it's another instance where it's very interesting to me that a lot of like top guy like ace prospects, in a manner of speaking, they seem to be better chasers than champions. But I don't think it's on them. I think it's on the booking. I really don't know what Shawn was thinking here, but I'm gonna say that I actually agree with Foster as far as the finish. I think Trick pinned Spears to get his win back over Spears because Spears only won because of Brooks Jensen, which don't even get me started on that storyline. So yeah, Trick retains, and hopefully we get him versus Javon down the road.
I fully agree. Literally, like word for word, everything that Alex said that you agreed with, I also agree with. Alex, I think if you and I ever start bringing on like guest analysts to help us do this to make it a little easier on us, Alex, you are our go-to guy for NXT for sure.
Yeah, as long as you won't be uncomfortable about me fawning over you the entire time, absolutely, because those takes, much like the existence, me gusta. So yeah, absolutely. Trick retains. We're all in agreement. Let's move on. Next matchup.
Let's talk about Roxanne versus Lola.
Um, so here's the thing. I'm just gonna rip the band-aid off with the prediction. I do think Roxanne retains. Uh, we're in an interesting space with Lola because I think they want her to be babyface. I think there is a babyface in there. I'm gonna be honest though, man. I've started to come around on her, but I gotta again stick with my truth, like I did with Chad earlier at Money in the Bank. That whole "My Mother Sacrifices" promo, I can
Dude, you
appreciate
know
it.
what? I'm so glad that we're talking about this right now because I need to put that in my worst promo of the year list.
That was bad. That was bad. Again, like I don't want to come down on Lola because I'm pretty sure she's telling the truth, but like I feel like she was trying to get the tears to come out, and it's like, nah, it ain't happening. Like it's just not happening. That was bad.
It was so fucking bad. It was honestly like I don't want to say embarrassing, but like it was almost embarrassing. Like it was bad.
It's a shame too because I think the best line on Lola's side was, "I took your best shot and I smiled. You took my best shot and you were pretty much knocked out. Like you woke up without your championship." That was a genuinely good line, but the delivery throughout the whole thing was so bad. And it's
Bro,
funny because like
Kirby
Lola can
Freeman,
actually,
you already know Kirby Freeman is like the meme master in our Discord, or at least one
yeah.
of them, because we've got a few. He posted this after Lola's promo, and I could not stop laughing. It was so fucking funny. I'm putting it in the
Okay.
chat, by the way. I'm putting it in the chat.
We love you, Kirby. Pop. Oh my god, it's an Isla Dawn tweet. What the fuck? Let's take a look at this. Lola Vice leaving the PC. Oh my god. What the hell? Oh my god. Wow. It's really something when the coworkers drag you like this.
I don't know if that's actually the real Isladon or not. I guess it might be because she's got like 82.3 thousand followers. So yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, that's damn. You're right. That is a coworker dragging her like that. Holy shit.
Bro, I also just want to mention, since I'm on Twitter and it's funny, you know how sometimes when you look at a tweet, there's also like a subsection called more tweets, and they just show you more tweets that I guess are like tangential to the main tweet you clicked on. I'm seeing a tweet from Cora Jade from 10 hours ago, hourglass emoji, and then pictures of her screwing Roxanne Perez out of the title or like feuding with her.
Oh,
So that's interesting.
dude. Yeah, like we were even talking in the Discord while NXT was on, and we were like, is Lola about to win the title? Like, is this really happening?
Bro,
And I even said like zero shot. There's no way because they're saving Roxanne for Julia. They're saving that title for Julia, right?
yeah,
But like, I
yeah.
don't know. They did a weird job with this build for sure. I'm gonna not overthink this and just pick Roxanne to win. But like, man, they really did weird stuff with this build for sure.
It's such a shame because I'll be honest with you, okay, I think again, this is also on record that I have been salivating for Roxanne versus Julia. That said, if Lola were to win this, I wouldn't have minded until that promo because now I'm like, I'm all for a Lola Vice babyface run, but you need to work the kinks fucking out
Yeah.
because there is a strong babyface here. I do believe that. Like, I actually, I find it funny. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm overstretching. Like, God, pretty soon my takes are going to be just so off the grid that it's like, what the fuck are you even saying right now? I feel like Lola has that like ability similar to Selena, as in like the fucking pop star that unfortunately got killed by her fucking manager. Uh,
Oh, like '90s Selena. Okay.
yes, yes. I see a similar like ability to her if she's just able to really figure the face character out because I feel like people want to connect with her. I think they like that she likes having fun, or as I like to tease my sister about, she likes liking things. You know, it's a good energy, but man, that promo game has got to step the fuck up
Yeah.
because that's the thing. Like, I love heels. I love dastardly people that do evil things, and then it's like, but why? Because I'm me. Yes. Yes, but a baby face is truly beautiful when they know how to sell their convictions. That's why one of the best baby faces of all time is Daniel Bryan, also arguably one of the best heels of all time, depending on what run you're looking at. Eco fucking menace Daniel Bryan is just peak cinema.
Champion of the
But
planet, Daniel Bryan.
yes, yes. But like he was also an incredible babyface. Kevin Owens, especially when he was feuding with Roman Reigns, incredible babyface. Sami Zayn, enough said. So there are transcendent babyfaces. Do I think Lola could be that good even if they figure it out? No. But I think she'd be likable enough that she could move a lot of merch, maybe even, teach people like how to dance and stuff like that and like be that type of babyface champion. But the promos have still got to be solid. If you can't talk, ain't nobody going to give a shit about you. And this, I mean, I guess the good news is Full Sail enjoyed it, but I mean, to be a douche, I've seen what makes Full Sail cheer. So maybe when the bar stops eating the dirt, we can have a discussion like adults in the room. But it was bad. So I'm going to say Roxanne retains, and we go full speed ahead to Roxanne versus Julia, which is the match that everyone wants, especially me.
Dude, I don't know what NXT's next PLE even is. Full disclosure, I really don't know. I just like it's not on the schedule. There's nothing on the schedule, so they're gonna have to like advertise it on the show or something.
Yeah, hopefully they will, because I don't know either. I'm just as in the dark as you are about this.
Yeah, like as far as WWE in general, I know we've got SummerSlam on August 3rd and Bash in Berlin on August 31st. But even after that, I don't know what the next pay per view after Bash in Berlin is because the only PLE advertised after that for 2024 is Crown Jewel on November 2nd, and there's no way that there's not going to be anything between August 31st and November 2nd. So They need to get their shit together as far as letting people know what their pay-per-views are going to be coming up.
Yeah, I agree completely. All right. Anything else to say before we move on to the true main event? Because I think that's all that's
It's
left, right?
time. It's time for Oba Trick.
Or you mean Oba West? Oba Trick will be coming
Oh
soon to a
fuck
ring near
yeah, I
you,
did
though.
say yeah. Oba West. Time for Oba West.
Letting the cat out of the bag there, Mister.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna say it. I got Oba retaining. Yeah, you damn right. It's gonna be Oba Trick.
I'm gonna say this, Wes. I hope they remember you, because I mean,
God, I love
goddamn.
that you said that. That is too perfect. You're so right.
I mean, look. I am me, but I respect the fuck out of Wes Lee, because how the hell he managed to do what he did, that's going to be studied by scientists for generations.
You are
Because what
correct.
the hell?
Yes.
Like, that is certifiably insane. I don't even, you know what? I'm going to be honest. You kept it real. I'll keep it real on my side. I don't even want to know what he did to pull that shit off, because I'm pretty sure it was insane.
I
And
want to
I'm
know.
pretty
I want to
sure.
know what demon he sold his soul to.
Yeah, what Faustian bargain did you make, young man? Because Jesus fucking Christ. That said, though, okay, now this is where I will be me, 1000%. Oba is an absolute turbo, Chad. And it's his world now, which means that he always wins. And it also means that we're okay with it, not even coercively, genuinely, because he makes it look so fucking good.
I'm so uncomfortable
Fuck.
right now. Jesus Christ.
As you should be. As you
No.
fucking should be.
No.
Because I
Fuck.
will tell you, if Wes knows what's good, if Wes knows what's good for him, he will recede into himself. He will lay down and he will eat the pin, because Oba's just going to steamroll him regardless. Um,
Why did you have to make so many creepy noises to get to the right answer anyway? God.
Because do you not see this man? This mountain of. You really expect me to look at this mountain of a man and not feel things? Are you a sociopath? This match is going to be amazing, though. Like, honestly, I've been pretty neglectful of my year-end award list, or yeah, not in the LA Knight way though, because he fucking sucks. And I will say though, if anything's gonna make me pay attention, it's this match, because I really do believe between how Wes is such a and again, I'm being serious now. Wes is such an amazing underdog, fiery spirited babyface. And Oba, I have never seen, maybe since Brock Lesnar, and that's the highest comment I can give him. I have not seen anybody put the goddamn game together so quick.
Nope.
This match has every ingredient to cook and
Yep.
feed families for generations. I just hope it gets time. And see, here's my problem, bro. Because Sean is just Hickenbottom. I mean, with a last name like that, the expectation shouldn't be that high to begin with. The Fatal 4-Way is probably going to main event, and that makes me worry that this match may not get as much time as it should. But then again, it is NXT, it is a PLE, and I think, to be fair to Sean, I think he does like both guys. So I do hope that this match
What
gets
is
time, because if it
Wesley's
does,
finisher?
I think it's the cardiac kick where he does that
Oh,
handspring
okay.
double like mule kick,
I
right?
mean, that's never
Yeah.
pinning Obafemi, at least not after one.
I mean, I don't know. Have you ever known a giant to be pinned via tickling? Yeah, I haven't either. So Wes,
Sometimes I
God,
think Lady C could get pinned by tickling.
why'd you have to go there, man? Why'd you have to be right at that cost? Was it worth it?
No.
Fuck.
Is it ever?
Yeah. No. Fuck. You can tell we're psyched for this, because this prediction is taking on every mood imaginable. Just because both guys are so good. Yeah, man, this match is gonna slap and kick and cook and do all the fucking things.
Ooh, I liked the way you said those words in that order.
I know. I'm telling you, dude. You just make me make the bad mouth noises, and then good mouth noises will come. Um, and so, yeah, I think I'm just picking
Come
Oba to
on,
retain.
dude.
And honest, I'm sorry, sir. What was that?
Nothing.
Okay, I'm picking Oba to retain. And honestly, dude, again, being serious, I really am starting to see your vision of Oba pulling a Keith Lee, because
Yes.
like realistic.
It's the
And again,
agenda.
I'm being serious with you now when I ask you this question. Who feasibly on this roster right now, if he gets past West, which we both agree he's doing, who feasibly could beat that dude? Like double champion is
Nobody.
a feasible option. I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said the correct answer, which is nobody.
Exactly. So by default, ooh, the double champion is the
Why'd you
feasible
make it so
fucking route
sexy?
because it's Oba. Everything this man's a part of is sexy by
Oh,
default. Ooh,
Jesus. Oh my
again.
God. He keeps doing it, guys. I don't know how to stop him.
But yeah, I mean, a double champion is the feasible route at that point. So, but then, but see, we've entered a paradox because, or maybe a clash in the continuum. Oh, I just made the next PLE.
Oh my God, you're a genius. The
Which like
WWE MCU combination pay-per-view, I don't know.
because I'm afraid if we do that booking, the problem just loops back around. Because then, who beats Oba for the world title? And it's nobody. So he just vacates everything and moves up to the main roster to win the Royal Rumble in his first fucking try. Fuck you, I have dreams.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah.
Well, who beat Keith for the world title?
That's a genuinely good question. I don't remember. Oh no. Oh no.
I think I remember, and I don't want to say it.
No, well, I just remembered thanks to your face, and I don't want to say it.
It
You owe
was
me
it
Yeah,
was it was
yeah.
the fucking
It was the Grease reject with
yeah, that's what I
fucking
thought.
who thought, wow, I know what's not getting me
Cross.
over.
Tavares. Amazing.
The guy that looked in the mirror and thought, I know what'll get me to WrestleMania. Hair. Fuck you.
He had to assert his dominance over Triple H's bald ass.
um, so I'm clearly dying. And
Outside or
th-
inside?
yes.
Ah, fuck! I knew you
And
were gonna say that.
and so yeah, look, how about okay, just to think here. We don't let some weird ass fucking white dude and another black
Oh
X.
no!
Wait,
I
what?
just thought of who is gonna end up beating Oba for the world title in like a year and a half.
I want you to be very careful about what emanates from your face next.
I'm so sorry, but like the way that they're building him up right now, and like they gave him Journey, they clearly want him to be a big deal.
No.
Brooks Jensen.
No. Don't Ashton cackle. For the first time, suck it back in. Wow. You know that it hurt you too when you actually genuinely did it. Fuck.
Oh, I didn't want it to. I didn't want to say it, but it just makes too much sense. They really want him to be a thing, dude.
I have never hated you being right more in my life. And when you think about how many times I have actually turned up because you were right, that is horrifying. Fuck.
Ow!
I don't know why I thought you were going to burst into song there.
That would have been one of the all-time greatest moments on this podcast. I'm just gonna say it.
Because I thought instead of ow, you were just gonna be like and then just gonna break into fucking some song or other. I don't fucking know.
Oh my
So
god, and Javaris is right too. Oba has already beaten Briggs, I think, twice now.
oh god, there are puzzle pieces and they're fitting together. They're interpenetrating. Fuck. Oh. Rip off my own face. Okay.
You know what? You know what? Let's gather. Let's recollect ourselves. Let's remain steadfast. We have Oba as
No.
North American champion right now. We still have the Oba world title reign to look forward to. Hopefully it lasts a really long time. And there's always a chance we're just wrong. There's always a chance that he just pulls an Asuka and never drops the title to anyone and just gets called up and has to relinquish because no one in NXT can beat him. There's still a chance that that happens. It's real.
So wait, you're the calming presence after you unleash the chaos in the first place on this Earth?
Welcome
Well,
to the inner workings of my mind, bro.
Jesus Christ, how are you still standing? There is so much happening in there.
This is
Okay,
basically what my mind goes through as far as the process is on a daily fucking basis. It's internal panic followed by very intentional and deliberate inner calm.
I'm gonna do the one thing I hate doing, and that, for the record, I shouldn't have to do by virtue of being me, and that's concede. I think you're right on all counts, and I'm really begging somebody to just stab me in my frontal lobe. Fuck.
Well, that person won't be me.
Well, obviously. Well, I'll tell you what, if Money in the Bank was 10 out of 10 hype, thinking about what Heatwave could have been, what it actually is, and what's probably going to come in the future, I give Heatwave a very generous low 7 out of 10. I was really tempted to say 6.5, though, let me tell you. But I think I'll go 7. And let me tell you, everybody should be getting down on their knees and thanking Wes, Oba, and God that this match is happening.
Why'd you say Oba's
Because
name twice?
you know what? That's line of the year right there. Uh, but yeah, that this match is happening because, truthfully, while this card doesn't look like dog shit or anything, I would still say that this match is doing a hard carry on this PLE. Because, Roxanne and Lola was doing okay, and then Lola decided, I know, I'm going to talk. Oh,
Fuck.
and then, yeah, Trick is just getting hoed. So here's an idea. Maybe listen to pro wrestling bits, know that black equals green, and start utilizing your best assets.
I mean, I think Sean might have taken the assets thing a little too literally when he pushed Lola.
Okay, you know what? Relax, relax. You're not wrong, but Jesus,
I popped my mom. Did you hear that?
I did, I did. It was precious. It was precious. Um, so overall, you joined me on 10 out of 10 hype for Money in the Bank. Where are you with this show, especially after our discussion?
You know what? I'm gonna ask my mom to tell you what number I was holding up for her before you gave your score. Mom, what number was I holding up to your face before John gave his score?
I can't hear her for the record if she's talking.
Say it again, Mom. Say it louder.
Okay, I thought, yeah, I caught her the first time a little bit when she, okay, yeah, so that
Yeah,
confirms it. So you were
literally, like
17,
as
so
you
we
were
agree
talking
then.
about how you wanted to give it a grade because we gave 10 to the previous one. I literally just held up my hand in the shape of a 7 in my mom, like in my mom's general direction, and then you said 7, and so like we were literally on the same page the whole time.
Be grateful we still have a hive mind after that Brooks Jensen shit. But then again,
Yeah.
I also made weird noises, so I guess we're even. Fuck.
We both
Um,
made some weird noises, but you've definitely got me beat in that department. I could never.
oh,
Oh my
all right.
god, and then you do it again. You don't get to apologize for something and then just go back and do it 3 seconds later.
I don't really think I apologized. I just kind of stated that I did something, which isn't an apology. It's recognition. There's a
It's
difference.
okay, you can acknowledge that you were wrong, but then you just go back and do the thing that you acknowledged was wrong right away. Like,
See, but the thing is, I don't think I was wrong. I just said that, I think we're balancing the scales.
let's move along.
Wow, wow, way to give up on me in front of everyone. That's
The
really attractive.
semantics game.
But no, in all seriousness, it should be an interesting weekend. I'm obviously hyped as hell for Money in the Bank, and thank goodness that one is coming tomorrow because I don't know if I can contain my excitement. And then, we got Heatwave, which should hopefully be good. And I'm
I
sorry,
hope
Opa West, that
Heatwave rocks.
fuck yeah. And I'm sorry, Oba West, that you're probably not getting the main event. Don't worry, though. Everyone's getting cheated.
You're
So
our main event, Oba.
God, that's so true. And we got to give West the props too. I mean, again, what he came back from, hat off to you, King. Goddamn. Um, so yeah, with that said, guys, I think that's it. Ashton, do you have any concluding remarks before I take us home here?
No, sir.
All right. Well, then, guys, like the video as you file out, subscribe to the bell icon for notifications so you miss any of that wow goodness. Check out everything we're involved in the description box. Follow us on Twitter and Twitch because we are the best wrestling podcast in all the IWC. And yeah, we will see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. for Money in the Bank preview and actually live reactions. Duh, we just did preview and predictions. Live reactions. And then Heatwave, I guess we'll try and go live 6:30 so we catch the pre-show as well. Heatwave live reaction Sunday. And yeah, that's essentially it. And can't wait for it. So until then, be good to yourselves and each other. Tune in and peace out.